So on February 14th, 1990, Voyager 1 took this photo of Earth over 4 billion miles away. Right there is peace, war, love, hate, birth, and death. There is you, your parents, their parents, their parents before them. The first human, all great humans, all the worst humans. Everything that's not human, everything that's ever been born. There is everywhere you've been, everywhere you've never been, every dream dreamt, every word spoken, every kingdom built, every empire destroyed. Right here, there's every meal ate, every plant, every work of art, every discovery, invention, every culture, every species, every ancient civilization now lost to time. All your memories, your first laugh, your first kiss, your last thoughts, your dog, your cat, your pet hamster you had whenever you were 6 years old, all your fears, insecurities, pains, and struggles, all your success and victories. Hell, everyone's memories, and everything contained in those memories, everyone's pain and suffering, hopes and dreams, every celebration and every failure. Everything right there on this pale blue dot. Outside of this dot, there is no one else. No place to call home, no one to hug, no one to talk to, just an infinite void ready to kill you at any moment. Your brief existence as a conscious slab of meat and everyone else's who has ever existed all takes place right here. We don't know why we're here and we might not ever know, but this is where we call home, right here on this pale blue dot. Whenever I look at this picture, I feel a sense of calm and peace with a dash of fear. I realize that I am incomprehensibly small and basically meaningless. I realize that all my problems and everything I fear all fit within that one dot. That small dot is what I let dictate my life. That small dot is where I will live my entire life. And then I realize how small I am and how pointless my life is to the entire universe and how nothing really truly matters if you go far enough. Yet, here we are. We really are just dust on dust on dust in an infinite universe. So I recently took a trip to Portland, Oregon for a friend's wedding, and it was the second time I'd been on a plane, but the first time I could actually have a memory of it. And I remember looking out the window during takeoff, and as I'm being pushed to the back of my seat, I just saw the whole world below me just shrink. I remember being above Las Vegas and looking over an entire highway system as semi-trucks just turned into ants, and it was impossible to make out individual people. Soon I was above the clouds and just looked off into the distance, deep into the horizon, and it just faded into this dark blue. And I've watched a lot of Scale of the Universe videos online just to look at how big space is and how small the Earth is in comparison. But seeing scale like that in person is weird, because whenever I was looking out that window, I didn't think about how small the Earth was, but the opposite. I just realized how big the Earth was and how small I was in comparison. And then I realized how little of the Earth I've actually seen and how there was so much more I couldn't even begin to comprehend. And then I thought to myself that if this small sliver of Earth was so big to me right now, but it's actually nothing compared to the rest of the Earth, let alone the entire universe, then what was I? I looked down at a city and I saw all the people and just tried to think about their lives. They must have fears and insecurities just like me. They have dreams, things they want to accomplish, and things they want to do with their life. But most dreams are stopped by fear and because of what others might think about them. Most of our lives are spent doing things we hate doing and thinking and worrying about everything. And we all have problems and things we worry about, but whenever I was up there, I couldn't stop asking myself, why? And then I just felt sad. Like myself, I'm sure most of these people spend most of their lives stuck in their own head, stuck in their own web of fear, insecurities, just a whole bunch of self-doubt and self-sabotage. They're stressed about micro events. Things on the grand scheme of things do not matter at all, yet they ruin our days, weeks, and eventually our lives. We aren't even here for that long, but we waste a lot of this time on small, meaningless bullshit. But from that point of view, looking down at everyone, and not like that, like literally looking down from above, I realized how truly small problems are, literally. It was a visual representation on how small problems are and how meaningless we and our issues are. Fear and insecurity, objectively, is nothing more than an emotion in our brains. And when you begin to zoom out and realize just how truly small the world is, how small a town is, and how small we are, you realize how equally small problems are. Like, imagine you saw an ant crawling on the ground and he told you he was afraid to build this huge anthill or whatever he wanted to do because he was afraid of what might happen or afraid what another ant might think about it. Me personally, I would pick that ant up so high above the clouds and tell him, like, do you have any idea how big and endless this world is and how insignificant you or anything is? I'll lift him up so high that the ant that he's worried about just disappears from view, and just ask him if he's going to let nothing stop him from getting the most out of his short ant existence. If he's going to let that one ant or that one thought somewhere in this huge world stop him from doing what he really wants to do. If he's going to allow something so small and insignificant to destroy everything else that he could be experiencing. And the exact same thing goes for humans. How many things do we stress out about? How many things do we spend our entire lives battling and worrying about until we get to the end and we realize that it was all pointless, and our time would have been much better spent doing things we actually love with people that we actually care about, being present in the moment, and just creating something beautiful, or just experiencing as much as we can before our time runs out. But we throw it all away over a piece of paper or our own self-imposed limits or what we think other people might think about us, not realizing that they got their own shit that they're worried about. Most of us throw our whole lives away over nothing. We put so much power onto things that mean nothing. And up there I realized that the world is so fucking big and I'm just a small part of it. The world is so big, yet so small, and we're even smaller. And we can create and explore and build so many amazing things if we simply acted, instead of limiting ourselves over things that do not matter. All the great innovators, leaders, and artists all come from the small dot that you're standing on right now. This dot may be small, but we are even smaller, and we can explore and impact it and change it in ways we can't even begin to imagine. Our place in this universe may be meaningless, but fuck it, we're here, alive and shit. So why not just create the most beautiful, meaningless cake we can while we're still here? Because why not? Nothing matters. And if nothing truly matters, then we can pick what matters to us individually while we're here. And if we can pick what matters to us, then why not pick the things that are gonna give us the most beautiful, exciting existence? Because we're not gonna be here one day. All of us on this little dot right now are gonna be gone and forgotten, just like the billions of people before us. And this cycle will repeat and repeat until this little dot gets hit by an asteroid or something, or gets eaten by the sun or something else. At the end, the only thing we'll have is our memories of our experiences before we die and the monuments we build before we're gone, which will one day also be gone, just like the dot and literally everything else given enough time. But this video is getting depressing. But anyways, this is everything, everywhere you've been and will go, everyone you know and known. Get the most out of your life, because you are not going to be here one day. You don't matter. All your problems are literally this small and meaningless. And if everything is meaningless and this small, then you might as well do whatever you want. So why not get the most out of, I'm repeating myself now. Anyways, just get the most out of your existence. That's all.